Hello, everyone. Welcome to the City of Healing, where the city resides within. Hope everyone is having a beautiful Friday evening, ready for a great weekend. Hope you have something great in store for yourselves. Anyway, I just wanted to come forth to do a brief share and talk a little bit about this opiate crisis and the laws that, well, I'm not going to talk about the laws, but I could look it up and we can talk about it, but I didn't really want to look up anything. I just wanted to speak from the heart, just to talk about it, to put something in the midst to really think about that maybe some of us aren't considering. Now, this opiate crisis, I work at different facilities, so I'm not just talking about my facility. And the shock that the patients experience from being taken off their pain medicine, from being weaned off, was very much so a struggle in different facilities on different levels of patient care. And I myself has witnessed, patients going to different levels of mental crisis on not having their pain medicine. And I wanted to kind of change or flip the subject of saying just opiates. We have an opiate crisis, which has been going on for years. I want to change it a little bit and say that's not our problem. Our problem is pain. Patients are having pain on different levels, and what I was taught in nursing school and what I use in my nursing profession, and also what I teach my students, is that pain is subjective, and you really have to be non-judgmental, especially when you have the patient that probably had surgery that's definitely in pain, and the doctor's orders to give certain amounts of medicine for different levels of pain. So you have that. I'm not talking about that, but there is pain that we need to consider. That's not the only level of pain, but patients are having pain mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, traumatically, different levels that we're not even considering. Now, when this pain crisis or opiate crisis came about, patients were taken off of their pain medicine, some were weaned, and some patients experienced withdrawals. And as we know, withdrawals can also cause death if not done in a proper setting, in a proper way. But perhaps some physicians were under the scope of following hospital policy and procedure, even though we didn't have any of those untoward experiences at any of the facilities. But that's definitely something that was definitely a possibility. So addressing these different levels of pain, whether you are a nurse or a doctor or anybody, a family member, I think we need to be very empathetic towards the patient and their pain. Of course, there are different levels of pain. And I myself, have different, pain. I don't have any pain, but my pain tolerance is what I want to say, may be different from someone else. I can go through pains like I broke my wrist once. I ignored the pain, but in child labor, I tolerate that till the end, and I couldn't tolerate it. And then I asked for pain medicine. So even though I've been taught, the medical side, the nursing side of pain medicine, I also know some of the holistic. And believe me, even the best guru of health and wellness, if they were in an accident, they would not consider a holistic or natural way of dealing with that pain. Especially if they're bleeding, if they're in pain, if their neck is broken, They want to be taken to the best hospital, given medical care and the pain medicine to deal with the pain, the extreme pain. Now, we can also say that, when we are in a position to give pain medicine, that, we do, whether we're prescribing it or we're the patient that's taking it, there can be an abuse of it. And of course there has been. And there's been deaths with it. There's been accidental, supposed overdoses. It's gotten really, really ugly. And I guess, I don't know the history. I could probably look it up and find it. There's been too many situations in which, this is happening. So there's been laws enforced, and different medical facilities are under the pressure to follow those laws. And what I want to address again is that we are non-judgmental for pain, because it is subjective, as well as consider different types of pain that the patients have, and also offering other measures to dealing with patients' pain, and even offering in these different other facilities addressing pain. Patient was a little hesitant. They just wanted that Band-Aid, that mask to deal with the pain, until we kind of gave them a wake-up call. There's other things you can do to handle your pain other than mask it out, or put a mask over, a Band-Aid over it. So, of course, in all these different facilities, we had social worker on board. We had mental health on board. We have outside facilities helping too, inside facility helping as well, with chiropractor, acupuncture. The list goes on and on. Swimming, yoga. We offer that in the facility, and we can outsource that facility as well. Different types of hospitals should have those things in place. However, all do not. They just have, we can't give you this pain medicine because for policy procedure, we can't do this. And if we do, it's under this situation and this situation. So in all, I'm glad that this is being enforced so that we can start to address the real issue of looking, or having people to look within to address what their pain is really related to. And there's different levels and different ways to handle that pain. So on that spectrum, I think it's a wonderful thing, and it's making great progress. So if looking for a new profession, chiropractor is definitely good. Meditation, yoga is definitely good. That's going to be on the rise, I feel. So that's something I'm really glad that they've bought into the facility, introducing more holistic, natural ways of dealing with pain, especially chronic pain. And as a nurse, being in a non-judgmental position, not saying not to have critical thinking skills, because that's one of my fortes, something that I teach to students all the time, that you just must have. The two are very different, critical thinking and being non-judgmental, of course. So that's what I wanted to come forth and talk about. We don't have an opiate crisis. That's outside of us. We have a pain crisis. Patients are in pain for different reasons, and not necessarily by surgical intervention or traumatic. It can also be spiritual, mental, emotional. We now are enforced in the medical profession to think like that, and consult like that, and advise like that. So that's wonderful. Even for myself, dealing with pain, even though my pain, if I have pain, which I rarely do, is dealing with pain. I'd rather go through the pain and not say anything to anybody at all, until the last minute, and it's too bad and I can't. It's like, why didn't you say anything, because I don't want to make a big deal of it, and I'd rather not take any pain medicine or see a doctor, etc., etc. But I would rather, just tolerate it till I can't tolerate it anymore. And the thing about taking pain medicine for myself, what I learned when I did and had to take pain medicine, is that I have a high pain tolerance. Medicine, for some reason, and I don't drink. I don't remember last time I drank any alcohol. I don't do drugs at all. I don't smoke. I don't have any of those extracurricular habits or anything like that. But for some reason, maybe my ancestors, my tolerance to medicine is very, very high. For example, once I had a toothache, and something was going on with my nerves, and it was just awful, the most awful pain I've ever had. And I finally went to the emergency room, and they wanted to give me 2 Percocet. I said, no, I'll just take 1. I took 1, and I still had the pain. However, I was so distracted with everything else, like ants on the wall, painting the walls, that I wasn't thinking about the pain. It did not touch the pain. So that asked me if I still had the pain. It was still bad, so they gave me 1 more. Yet still nothing happened. I was still aware of the pain. It made me more aware of the pain and other stuff that was going on around me. Even with Benadryl, I can't take Benadryl because some people, it makes them sleep. It makes me very, very anxious. It makes me very, very active. I'm extra active. I'm extra hyper when I take Benadryl. So I haven't taken Benadryl in years. And actually, I took it more than once years ago to make sure that it did that, and it still did. And then Flexeril knocks most people out. And I took it on one occasion, and I took a half of one, which is probably 5 milligrams. I was aware of the pain, but I was aware still that, I could actually feel the muscles that were actually involved with my pain. So I was able to massage, I can go on and on. Medicine does not affect me the way it does other people. And thus the same with everybody else. It's a total different picture of how it affects different people. And pain medicine will affect different people, and people have different motives for taking or being prescribed or wanting prescribed pain medicine than everybody. So again, we don't have an opiate crisis. We don't give that more power over who we are, nor how we deal with our pain that we perceive that we have. So that was my point of sharing this video, just to enforce my view of the pain crisis that's in effect. And there are different measures that are going forth within the medical field that is seeing this and offering other measures to dealing with that pain. So I'm very happy with that, to see the collaboration finally coming forth. And there's more to come. Anyway, so yes, I am very happy with the beginning stages of the collaboration between the medical profession and holistic care, and taking care of the individual patient. Not just saying that you have to take this medicine, but instead, if you take this medicine, it's because this naturopathic or this holistic is not working, and vice versa. We've tried all of these things holistically, but maybe something else is wrong, so something medical may be able to help. So not saying there should be a balance, but there should be some scope of practice as that we can consider all the measures of holistically helping the patient heal themselves or care for themselves. And another aspect that says, hey, we've tried everything, and it's critical that this pain is handled with this pain medicine or this blood pressure, because we've tried everything else and this blood pressure is too high, this patient's going to have a stroke, we need to have this. Or we've tried all these other holistic measures to cure or help this condition. Because believe me, we all have the same soul. We all did not come into this world as physically as the same being, because we have so much DNA history with us. Some of us, for example, we can eat and drink whatever we want. That's not me. And we won't develop diabetes, for example. But one of us can eat a candy bar and you go to the doctor and you have what they say diabetes. So we all weren't born equal, and we're all different. You can't say, oh, you just stop eating such and such and such and this won't happen. Unfortunately, and I've seen it myself, especially with hypertension, patients can do every measure they can, but because I believe because of their ancestral DNA and history, so much is intertwined in there that medicine, even holistic, has had difficulty in handling that blood pressure. So I'm glad that we are on our way for the collaboration between medicine and holistic care, and understanding that holistically is what we need most. Anyway, thanks for visiting the city, and I hope that you all have a beautiful rest of your evening. Take care.